Welcome back, everybody. If you saw my last video, I built the pond structure you see here on the trailer. It's all built out of corrugated pipe, so I'm gonna try to get it stuck in the pond down there today. Second project I've got is I have an overflow in which water comes up, and I'm afraid I'm gonna lose my fish over the overflow. So I'm gonna build me a fence in front of it, probably 4 feet off of the overflow, that way I can keep my fish in there. But I won't get it done today, but I'm gonna get the expanded metal down there and I'm gonna get it traced out basically to the bottom of the pond. That way I can go back and build me some supports and get it put in here in the next week or so. And then I ordered a test kit so I could sort of check the parameters of the pond, and I'll show you the results of that. For those who may ask, I don't typically pull this equipment float with the Nissan Pathfinder, but it was the closest thing to the trailer. All right, I'll show you what I got constructed. I've built some little old shrubs or bushes, and so I just screwed me a piece of OSB bottom on the bottom of my little 12-inch culvert, and then I filled them up with concrete in the bottom. So we've got 4 of these built. Then I have my 24-inch culvert pipe, and I had some scrap piece, so I made me a pyramid out of it, and then I've got probably about 50 pounds of concrete poured in the bottom. Now these have got sealed pockets on them that's got a liner in it, so these are sealed, so I've went through and drilled holes in all of them, and so hopefully that thing will sink. It weighs, it's pretty heavy. Beyond that, I've got my fish dome, in which it's all screwed together, and then I've got concrete in my base here, ringed. So hopefully that'll hold that down, in which I've drilled some holes in it as well. And last but not least, I've got my man-made simulated tree. So what I've done was we took concrete and went through and filled the bottom of it, and I've also drilled a bunch of holes in it in each one of them ribs. That way hopefully we can get this thing to sink. So when I get a little help here, we'll get these stuck in the water. I received my test kit back earlier in the week, and I ran a test, and it tests for 4 different things. I'll stick a picture in here of the test. Out of all 4 tests I ran, everything checked out good except for the pH, and it came in based on this test around 9. So from what I read, you want it to be somewhere between 7 and 8. So I don't know exactly how you would get the pH down. From what talking to some local people that have some knowledge about this stuff, they just say it's something your soil puts off. But I'm gonna do a little more research on it and see if it's something I can put in here to bring it down and keep it there. But if I'm gonna have to continually add it, I just won't mess with it. But local resources guy, he told me that if it was at a 9 or a little higher, it may, you know, put a strain on the fish. So I'm gonna test it today again, and I tested it the other day, and it was in the evening, sort of cloudy day, so it's been hot today. It's midday, so I'm gonna test it now, and then when I get the boat in the water, I'm gonna take a sample out from the middle as well and see if it tests any different. But I'll get a little sample here, and then we'll go up here and put the drops in it and see what it comes out to. All right, here's our pH scale. I'm gonna let this sit here for a few minutes, and then we'll see what kind of color we got. It's looking like it might be a little less than what it was the other day. Well, it's been about 4 or 5 minutes, and based on this, we were blue. I mean, it was royal blue the last time I checked it, but now looks like we're lining up somewhere 7, 7.5. So we may be in good shape. I say it's good enough. We'll put some fish in it and give it a shot. right, I'm planning as I go here, folks. Anyway, I've got that expanded metal up, and I have got it positioned left to right where I want it. And then I've got the top of it leveled. So what I'm gonna do now is I'll take this level and I'll get my distance from the bottom of the pond up to the bottom of the expansion metal. I'll find my furthest point, or my deepest point, and then I will scribe a mark on my level. And then what I'll do is just follow the bottom of the pond, and I will describe the bottom of the pond on the expansion metal, and then that'll, when I take it up there and cut it out, it should fall right back down in there and be flush with the bottom. So anyway, let's see if that'll work. All right, I'll show you what I'm doing. If you'll notice, I've got an orange mark there on my level, and this is the deepest point of my little canal here. So I've got it level with the bottom, and so what I'll do, I'll keep coming across through here, the bottom running pretty true or flat. But I'm sitting on the bottom here, and you can see it starting to climb my expansion metal. So all I'm doing is scribing the bottom of the pond onto this expansion metal all the way to the edge, and then it'll sort of follow the contour. And then when I'm ready to, after I get it painted and get some support welded up here to the top, it'll come back and lay right in that contour, and it'll be down against the bottom, or at least that's the plan anyway. And then I will probably take some concrete and go on the back side, and like to have some sleeved, I could put some Quikrete in and then just lay it right along the bottom, and that way it'll secure me there. So I'm gonna get it scribed out, we'll pull it out, and then hopefully let's get some structure put in the pond here in a minute. All right, boat captain, hop in. All right, the help has arrived, so let's put a little structure in the pond. Got the star of the show there, the comedian. All right, Reed, we gotta figure out where we're gonna put our first bush. Where you gonna put it?
Right in here somewhere.
Okay, we'll go right up here and put our first one. We're gonna see if this baby sinks or not, all right? Okay, what do you think, Reed, right here?
Good.
All right, let's see. I want to make sure this thing goes down. Sits flat on the bottom. Without turning this over. She's taking on water, Reed. Here we go, Reed.
Yep.
All right, once it filled up, where I drilled the holes in it, once it filled up with water, she's went down and looks pretty good. I think it'll make some pretty good structure. So we got 3 more to go, and then we'll set our pyramid, our dome, and our tree. Just loop the rope through it, and I've drug it out of here. I've got a piece of line tied to the top with just a floater, that way we can halfway tell where it's at. I'm gonna pull it on over here a little bit. It's taking bubble, it's gonna get heavier in a minute. All right, I think we got it where we want it. Nice when a plan comes together. let's see if we can get the tree in the water. Our dome, I forgot to drill holes in the top, so she wanted to float, but we got a few holes in it. She went to the bottom. So now for the fun one.
So this is what an East Tennessee hillbilly does for fun on a Saturday night.
Cut it off.
Loads his boat up with his fish structures he built and canoes them around his pond. I want you to be ready for the action that's about to happen as he dumps this thing in the water. And he goes over the edge as well. Everybody hold your breath and get ready to laugh. Oh, that wasn't as exciting as I wanted it to be. Oh, I had doubts. Good luck getting out, Chief. My work is done. I'll see you later.
Hold this boat paddle for me, sweet pea.
You didn't tell me to hold on. You just told me to like hold it. I'm thinking.
Pull, step back so I can get out.
Daddy, right here was a big fish.
Oh, really? Here. Step back so I can get out. I'll knock you down. All right, hold, just pull some tension there. Pull it a little bit. Pull.
I'm trying to give the viewers some action. You falling in would be great.
Yeah. I got one question for you guys out there in YouTube land. Let me know if you know what kind of plant this is. If you know what kind of plant that is, I'd appreciate it. Let me know in the comments. So I've got a bunch of it growing here in the shallow end. I'm afraid it's gonna get away from me. I'm gonna have to get out here and try to dig that out before it just takes over the whole shallow end and get it to where fish can't even swim through there. But obviously right now it's a good place for these small fish, but if it keeps growing, it'll kill half the pond. So anyway, if you know what kind that is, I'd appreciate it if you let me know. Well, we got all of our structure put in. Everything seemed to go as planned. Everything sunk upright the way I wanted it to. I've got one little shrub out there that's barely sticking out the top of the water, so I may get out there and try to scoot it out a little bit at some point, but it ain't gonna hurt anything where it is. But I'll probably wait until sometime in October before I put fish in there, probably let it cool down a little bit. But we may go back and add a few more pieces of structure. I may come up with something else and stick out here in the shallow end, but I got to get rid of these, got to get rid of this, whatever kind of plant that is growing in here. But I will, next up, get my little OverFlow fence built and get it installed, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. So if you watched, I appreciate it, and we'll see you later.